Hi all, welcome to another video. In this video, I'll be discussing about India-France relationship, right? So since there are many aspects related to India-France relationship, I have divided the topic into three parts. Okay, so I'll be explaining all the dimensions of India-France relationship in detail in the three parts. Okay, so this is the first part of the video, right? So France is one of the important partner for India in the European Union. Okay, and also like many foreign countries like USA and Israel, we have strategic relationships with France also. That is the reason France has been one of the strongest partner for India in the West. Okay, so let us look at what are the aspects related to India-France relationship. Here I tried to cover these things in the video. So I'll be explaining you with the introduction what are the components of India-French relationship, detailed explanation of components and takeaway for the exams. So this is the government statement released. Okay, the statement says that Horizon 2047, 25th anniversary of India-France strategic partnership towards a century of India-France relationship. So this is how India-France relationship evolved. Okay, so with this thing, I'll try to explain this statement. Okay, so in 1947, when India got independence, like all other countries, it has established diplomatic relationship with France. Okay, and in 1998 India has established strategic level relationship with France, right? So that is what it says. So if we see from 1947 to 2047, it will be 100 years of relationship between India and France along with the 100th Independence Day for India. Likewise, if we look at the strategic relationships here, this is the 25th anniversary. Okay, so 2023 is the 25th anniversary and this 2047 will be the 50 years for strategic partnership. So this is how the relationship between France and India has evolved, right? So even if you look in the political sciences, India has borrowed various aspects of constitution from different countries. So we have also borrowed from aspects from French constitution. I want you to comment those elements which we have borrowed from France in our constitution. Okay, so this is the evolution of India-France relationship. As I said, I have divided India-France relationship topic into three parts. Okay, here are the three parts. Part one is partnership for security and sovereignty. Part two is partnership for planet. Part three is partnership for people. So in this video, I'll be dealing with partnership for security and sovereignty. So in the part one, that is partnership for security and sovereignty, these are the components. So the components are building sovereign defense capabilities together. Okay, so building defense capabilities together, providing concrete solution to make Indo-Pacific an area of stability and sustainable development. Okay, so it speaks about the stability in Indo-Pacific region, putting space at the heart of our strategic relationship. Okay, it speaks about space cooperation, adapting the fight against terrorism to the new threats to better protect our citizens. So it says about protecting our citizens against terrorism. And the fifth aspect is promoting a renewed and effective multilateralism. Okay, so multilateralism is involvement of many countries for a particular target or an aim. Okay? Joining forces to make science, technological innovations, and academic cooperation vectors of progress and independence of our countries. Okay, so innovation in science and technology, academic cooperation, and also independence of our countries. So this is the first one, building sovereign defense capabilities together. So as we know, we are very much dependent on France for defense requirements, right? So if you are following news regularly, you might have heard about this Rafale fighter jets, right? So India has completed the phase one procurement of Rafale fighter jets. So India is also partnering with France. Okay, So for multi-role helicopters. So these multi-role helicopters are manufactured by joint partnership of HAL and Safran. So this is the Indian company, this is the French company. Also, France has been helping us in building the submarine of P-75 Calvary. Okay, the Scorpion submarine, which is called P-75 Calvary. GRSC and Naval Group. So this GRSC is pioneer in naval technologies. So this is an Indian company, and this Naval Group is from France. So they are manufacturing surface ships together. The other thing is, in the Embassy of France, DRDO Technical Office has been established. So these are the aspects which are related to the defense cooperation between India and France. Okay, so in exam there can be a question based on all these topics. Okay, you can expect a question asking from which country India has procured Rafale fighter jets. So which companies are partnering for manufacturing of IMRH? Okay, multi-role helicopters. Who are partnering for manufacturing of Scorpion submarine or surface ships? And you can also get a question asking which company has recently opened its technical office at the French embassy, okay, DRDO. So these kind of questions you can expect based on this defense cooperation aspects, right? So this is about the first aspect. Let us move on to the second aspect. So second aspect speaks on the stability in Indo-Pacific. Okay, మనం తెలుగులో చూసుకుంటే దీన్ని సుస్థిరత, దానితో పాటు సుస్థిర అభివృద్ధి గురించి ఇండో పెసిఫిక్లో మనం సొల్యూషన్స్ ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయాలనేది దీని ఎయిమ్ అనమాట. So this has been started in 2018. Okay. Also, French has some of its territories in Indo-Pacific. So these are New Caledonia and French Polynesia, right? Along with these two, there are also other French territories like Reunion Island, Mayotte, New Caledonia and French Polynesia, as we mentioned earlier, Wallis and Futuna, French Southern and Atlantic territories. So these all places are French territories in Indo-Pacific. Also, there has been trilateral partnership dialogue with Australia. So with Australia, it has started dialogue in 2020 and with the UAE in 2020. Okay, so this trilateral partnership is also for Indo-Pacific. If we look at here, IPTDC fund. So it stands for Indo-Pacific Triangular Development Cooperation Fund. So this fund has been established by India and EU Partnership 2021. Okay, and this fund is used for climate initiatives, sustainable development goals, and green technology. Okay, so here also you can expect questions. Okay, so you can get a question on this development cooperation fund. So which countries are partnering for this fund? Okay, and what are the initiatives that will be included for promotion with this fund? Okay, and also these are important from geography point of view. Okay, so they can ask that Reunion Island belongs to which country? Okay? It is a territory of France. So this is about the stability in Indo-Pacific area and initiatives by France along with India in making Indo-Pacific an area of stability, right? So let us move on to the third aspect. The third aspect is space. So అంతరిక్షంలో ఇండియా మరియు ఫ్రాన్స్ ఎట్లాంటి కోఆపరేషన్ ఆస్పెక్ట్స్ ఫాలో అవుతున్నాయో ఇక్కడ చూస్తాం. So this includes access to technology. Next aspect is scientific and commercial partnership between CNES and ISRO. So how ISRO is for India, CNES is for France. Okay, so they will have scientific and commercial partnerships. So they have also taken up some initiatives like Trishna mission. So this is related to mapping resources. Okay, also the climate environment. Along with the Trishna mission, there is an other initiative that has been carried out between India and French, that is Space Climate Observatory. So it focuses on water and marine resources mapping. Okay. The third aspect is bilateral strategic space dialogue. Okay. So when we have bilateral dialogues, they can serve as faster or quicker platforms to discuss things more specifically. Okay. That is the advantage of bilateral relationship. Forward looking space technologies. So it speaks about future space technologies, right? So these are the four aspects where India and France are cooperating with respect to space technologies, right? This is the third aspect. Now let us move on to the fourth aspect, right? So here it speaks about fight against terrorism to protect our citizens. Okay. So here the focus is on operational cooperation, multilateral action, radicalization, and terror financing. Okay. Under this, they have two missions. So here one mission is NMFT initiative. Here the focus is no money to finance terror initiatives. So to carry out terror, the terrorists mobilize money, right? So we have to cut off those channels. So that is the purpose of this initiative. And the next thing is Christchurch fall. So this is related to elimination of extremism and terror extremism. Okay, from the online. And the next aspect regarding fighting against terrorism to protect our citizens is against organized crime. So organized crime includes a well laid out hierarchy where the crime is carried out with proper hierarchy. Okay, so that is what we call organized crime. So you can take an example of Pablo Escobar. Okay, so that is how organized crime looks like. So organized crime can be related to human trafficking, environment crimes. So environment crimes include smuggling of endangered species or endangered plants. That is what environment crimes include. And financial crimes like fugitive offenders. So some businessmen are running out of India, right? Like Nirav Modi. So those kind of crimes come under the financial crimes. Also, India signed a letter of intent. So this letter of intent is nothing but it is a letter that shows that two countries are having intention to relate to a common cause and also work on the common cause. So the letter of intent is related to National Security Guard of India. These are the elite forces, okay? And also group the Intervención de la Gramarye Nacional. So how NSG is for India, GIGN is for France, okay? So these two bodies will fight against counter terrorism. And one more thing is internal security. So these are the aspects related to fighting against terrorism to protect citizens. So these things are important for example. Okay? What is NMFT initiative? Which countries are involved? That is how you can get a question. And also you can get question asking which countries signed a letter of intent to fight against counter terrorism. Okay. So these are the things which you can remember for exam. So this is about the fourth aspect. Now let us move on to the fifth aspect. Here promoting a renewed and effective multilateralism. So multilateralism is nothing but few countries or many countries coming together to fight on a single cause. Okay? So here many countries join together for a common cause, right? So here what it says is that rejecting attempt to undermine UN Charter. So UN has some rules, right? So as a part of India-France cooperation, we have to see that any country that tends to deviate from UN rules, we have to stop them. Okay. Also reform global governance, right? And the next thing is Security Council in two groups. Currently, France is a P5 country. Okay, P5 country is nothing but permanent five. These are the five permanent countries in Security Council. India is not a permanent member, right? So these two countries are in two groups. One is in permanent group and other is in non-permanent. Here, France is supporting India for G4 initiative. So this G4 initiative is related to fighting for permanent membership in Security Council. Okay. So I want you to find out what are those four countries which are grouping and fighting for permanent membership in Security Council. Okay. And next is Paris Agreement. So with respect to this Paris Agreement, there has been new global financial pact. Okay. So this financial pact is for development and environment. సో అభివృద్ధి మరియు పర్యావరణం కోసం ఈ కొత్త ప్యాక్ట్ చేశారన్నమాట. ఓకే. సో దీస్ ఆర్ ద ఆస్పెక్ట్స్ రిలేటెడ్ టు మల్టీలాటరలిజం. వన్ ఈస్ యుఎన్ చార్టర్, global governance, security council related issues, and also global financial pact related to Paris agreement, right? So let us move on to the next. So here joining forces to make science and technological innovations. So finding out new things in science and technology, and academic cooperation. Okay, so academic cooperation is nothing but the ties or connections between the academic institutes of India and France, and also independence of our nations. So here the main subjects related to these are startup and innovation ecosystem. Okay, so founding new companies, that is what we call startups. When you have an idea, you turn that idea into a business. Okay, that is how startups work. And other focus is on technology addressing 21st century issues. So using technology to find the solutions for the issues that we are facing in 21st century. Okay, so here the 21st century issues are mainly climate change. You can also add terrorism. Okay, those kind of things, how we can use technology and address those issues, that is what it is speaking of. And also research and partnership along with self-reliance. Self-reliance is nothing but not depending on any other means, but to depend on self. Okay? So here the first thing is scientific cooperation. So as a part of scientific cooperation, joint strategic committee was formed by French National Research Agency. So it is based on common priority themes. Okay, and also India French Center for Promotion of Advanced Research. So in these areas we have scientific cooperation with France. So the next thing is technology. We are done with the science. Now we are focusing on technology. So Indo-France roadmaps cyber security. So with related to cyber security, there has been roadmap. Okay. So cyber security and along with digital technology. This initiative has been taken in 2019. Okay. And also global partnership on cloud computing, supercomputing, and quantum computing. So these computing technologies, how they help is that these perform computer operations in milliseconds. Okay, so they are faster than the traditional computers which we use. That is what they are going for global partnerships. Okay, next is health cooperation. So they have signed a letter of intent for use of technology in health. So already we have seen, right, use of technology for 21st century issues. So COVID can be mentioned as one of the 21st century issue. Okay, and other letter of intent has been signed related to One Health. Okay, so this One Health concept, what it tries to say is that we should not consider only the living of human beings as a single entity. We live with environment, right? So we live with animals and living things and non-living things, right? So we have to live comprehensively. Okay? So considering the issues of everything that surrounds us. So that is what One Health speaks of. And also antimicrobial resistance. So nowadays we are immaturely using the antibiotics, right? So if we go on using antibiotics in that way, in the future antibiotics may not work because bacteria may get resistance to those antibiotics. So they should be used judiciously. And also emergency preparedness for COVID like situations. Okay, so what we have to do in case if there is COVID like situation in the future. Okay, and also human resources and technology. So human resources is nothing but the human resources related to health, like doctors, nurses, and technicians, and medical technicians. That is what it is speaking about. It is about the health cooperation between India and France. And next is related to Indo-French campus for health. Okay, so they have initiated a campus. So this campus is in Indo-Pacific region of Reunion Island between Indian University and France. So this initiative was started in 2020. So in this campus, youth will be given preference. Okay, and also master degree is given by Sorbonne University. This is a French university, and along with IIT Delhi partnership. Also, a MOU has been signed for establishing Pasteur Center at Hyderabad. Okay, so this is between Institute Pasteur of France and CSIR of India. So these two are coming together to establish Pasteur Center at Hyderabad. Okay? So this is also an important bit for exam. And next is cyber cooperation. So here in the cyber cooperation space, we have bilateral dialogue along with adhering to UN cyber process. So in UN it has started first and third committees related to cyber dialogue. Okay, so the first committee period is from 2021 to 25. So India and France are both partners in this committee. And also fighting cybercrime with ICT. ICT is nothing but information and communication technology. Also preparedness and infrastructure. So how we have to be prepared and what kind of tools do we need to fight cybercrime, right? And also exchange best practices. So if India has any best practices for fighting cybercrimes, then we can exchange those practices or tools with France, and France can also reciprocate that, right? So let us move on to the next aspect. So here is digital regulation. So digital regulation relates to usage of data. Okay. So usage of data of citizens on the internet. So in France, this will be regulated by CNIL. Okay. This protects data in France of the citizens. Also, it focuses on information and the aspect of democracy. Why? Because these days we call data as fuel, right? So data is very important. At the same time, while you exploit it for commercial benefits, it is also important that the data should not be misused. Okay, if we misuse data, there can be many wrong results that will be not in the interest of country and also citizens, so we become vulnerable. Okay, and also the last aspect is cooperation on digital technology, digital public infrastructure and startup, artificial intelligence and 5G. So here the digital public infrastructure is nothing but any digital good that uses public information, so that we call it as digital public infrastructure, right? So here the various aspects that are focused are cyber security roadmap. Okay, so we need to have open cyberspaces, open internet. Okay, there should be access for everybody, there should not be any discrimination. So these days if you see, have you heard about dark web? So dark web is also like internet only, but there all the illegal activities happen in the dark web. Okay, so we should focus on those kind of things. Next, startup innovation. Okay, startup innovation India at Vivatech. So this is an event. Okay, so in this event India has participated as first country of the year. Okay, and also NPCI France Lira. So this NPCI is an organization which looks after UPI payments in India. Okay, this is the umbrella organization for UPI payments in India, Unified Payment Interface. So we are about to introduce UPI in EU also. Okay, so in September 2023, Eiffel Tower will be the first merchant to accept UPI. This is very important, you can expect a bit on this. And also there are a couple of initiatives between India and France. So this initiative name is called infrastructure. So here it turns out to be India France structure. So this has been given the short form of infrastructure. So infrastructure means India France structures. Also Infinity, India France innovation in IT, information technologies. Okay, these two initiatives are between India and France. So here also you can expect a bit. And digital public infrastructure for good, as I said earlier. So here the data which we collect from the public, it should be used in judicious manner rather than using it for wrong purpose, thereby making people and country vulnerable to other cyber issues. Okay, so these are the focus topics where India and France are cooperating. Okay, and also the reason why recently India France relationship has been moving at faster pace in many directions. As we have seen recently, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has attended Bastille Day in France. Okay, he was the chief guest. So the Bastille Day is nothing but it is the day on which the authoritarian rule has ended in France and the federation rule has started. So అక్కడ రాజరికపు వ్యవస్థ అంతమైపోయి ఎప్పుడైతే డెమోక్రసీ ఆర్ ఫెడరేషన్ స్టార్ట్ అయిందో దాన్ని బాస్టల్ డే లెక్క సెలబ్రేట్ చేసుకుంటారు. సో ఆన్ దట్ డే ప్రైమ్ మినిస్టర్ నరేంద్ర మోడీ హ్యాస్ బీన్ ద చీఫ్ గెస్ట్. So when we call somebody to the events which are of national importance, you can expect the closeness between the countries. Okay, so India and France relationships are also important given the geopolitics that are playing out today in the world. So on this basis, we have cooperation mainly in defense space sectors. Okay? So mainly in defense, right? So we are going to make many more cooperative agreements or arrangements with France in the coming days also. So that is why the relationship between India and France has acquired important place in the international foreign relationships. Okay, this is what is about the part one. So I'll be coming up with part two and I'll cover the next part. Okay, thanks for listening. If you have any questions, please comment down below in the comment box so that I'll be able to explain the things which you are not able to understand. Right? Thank you.